In this tutorial, we are going to work on all that you need to know about the first theorem in Euclidean geometry. At the end, we will also include how you would prove this theorem. Hi guys, Liva here from Bright Young Brains. So, the first thing we want to keep in mind is whenever we have a sketch that is somewhat mapped out in this manner, the first idea is as long as AC is equal to BC, then we need to keep in mind that OC will always then be perpendicular to AB. Now, obviously, with a theorem like this one, you also want to think of it the other way around, in the sense that if we were given the exact same circle mapped out in this manner, we can see here, instead of them telling us that AC is equal to CB, we have been given this sketch in reverse, in the sense that we are given the exact same picture. However, this angle here is a 90-degree angle. If this angle here is a 90-degree angle, automatically we need to keep in mind that AC will automatically be equal to BC. So from the top, if AC is equal to BC or CB, we know that OC will automatically be perpendicular to AB. If you were given that OC is perpendicular to AB, then automatically it means that these two lines are equal to each other. And then for this sketch, it will mean that that's a 90-degree angle there. So if you're going to prove this theorem, the first thing you want to keep in mind is the main idea is you want to firstly make a construction and then use that construction to help you prove that if AC is equal to CB, then this angle here will be a 90-degree angle. So to do that, the first thing is you want to construct OA and OB so that you have the two triangles. So now that we have constructed OA and OB, the main idea is we are going to now use our new image to prove that the triangle on the left side is congruent to the triangle on the right hand side. Now, congruency means that your two triangles are exactly the same. So the one next piece of item that we want to write down is in triangle ACO and triangle BCO. So having laid this out, it means that what you're going to write down underneath here is basically referring to these two triangles. Now, we said our main goal is to prove that these two triangles are congruent. So this, you don't need to write it down, but then you need to keep in mind that that's where we're working towards. So the first thing in terms of us proving that these two are congruent is we can clearly see that with our construction, OA is automatically equal to OB because those are both radius lengths of your circle there. So the first thing you can write down under this statement is OA is equal to OB, and then your reason here will be radii to show that you have two radiuses. The next thing is that AC is equal to BC. You can refer to it as CB. It really is not a big issue because either or is fine. So here we're going to say AC is equal to CB, and our reason will just be given because they clearly have given us that piece of information. Cool. So in terms of us wanting to prove congruency, we are somewhat one step closer. Whenever you're going to prove congruency, just make sure that you're not proving that all three angles are equal. As long as you're proving congruency, just try and make sure that you have a mixture of sides and angles, or you just have sides throughout. So in our case, we have proven that this side is equal to that side, and we've proven that this side is equal to that side. Now we are just going to show that this is a common side. So that's the same for both triangles. So the next statement would just be OC is equal to OC because that's a common side. Now this makes sense because right at the top here, we have stated out which triangles we are working in. So even though these two triangles share a side, we know that if we had to draw them individually, they would both have OC there and OC would be the same length. So here we know that this is a side, this is another side, and then this is another pair of sides that we have proven to be equal. So we can then say here, triangle ACO is congruent to triangle BCO because we have proven that all three sides are equal to each other. Now you may be asking yourself, why are we doing this if we are supposed to be proving that OC is perpendicular to AB? Now the good news is, as long as you've proven that these two triangles are congruent, you can now make use of another geometry law, a law that says angles on a straight line all have to add up to 180. So in our case here, we know that this is a straight line, and then we have an angle here and an angle there. Now we know that angles on a straight line always add up to 180 degrees. So in our case, we firstly need to state that C1 is equal to C2 because that's proven when we proved congruency. And then now all we need to lay out is that both sides would be equal to 90 degrees. So the main reason why I have chosen to map this out in this manner is you want to keep in mind that when you're going to be proving stuff, you don't need to be too fancy, in the sense that this is somewhat fixed. If you're going to prove this theorem, just prove that these two triangles are congruent. That's going to give you the bulk of your marks. As soon as you've proven that those two triangles are congruent, you then just want to state that one portion of your triangle, as in one side of your straight line here and your other side of your straight line here, we know that they both need to add up to 180 degrees because those are angles on a straight line. Angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Now if they are both equal, because we've proven that, it means that each of them share 180 degrees. And if they each share 180 degrees, it means that they are each 90, which means that OC definitely is perpendicular to AB. Now you may be asking yourself, what if it was the other way around? As in, what if you were given a 90-degree angle there and then you had to prove that these two sides are equal to each other? You would practically just do the exact same thing, because you would firstly prove that these two triangles are congruent, and then you would then just state therefore AC is equal to CB. But then you're most likely going to find yourself having questions where they ask you to prove that the lines are perpendicular instead of them asking you to prove that those two are equal to each other. So yeah, this is all you need to work on, or all you need to know about Theorem 1 in terms of proving it. So with Euclidean geometry, obviously we know with some of the questions that you get, they're not always plain and friendly and all that. So when you're working on like actual Euclidean geometry questions and you get like super stuck, then you can just send me a DM on IG and then we'll definitely be able to help you out on that. So what I actually do is, when people like send me questions on stuff that they're working on, I quickly make like a mini video on like a paper, and then I upload it onto my IG math page, which is called Zero Aesthetics, Just Mathematics. So yeah, if you just want some extra help and stuff like that, that is available for you to have a look at.